kiddies, it's terrible triple feature time once again, and rather than use one of my own triple feature ideas, I'm going to go with something of an established trilogy. That's right, we're going to be doing the Hannibal Lecter triple feature, because Hannibal is one of my favorites. Hannibal right there. We will be, staring into your dreams. So, our triple feature includes Manhunter, The Silence of the Lambs, and Hannibal. Now, I know you're going to be asking, first and foremost, why are we not including Hannibal Rising? No. And why are we using Manhunter instead of Red Dragon? Well, I can cite several reasons. One, fuck Brett Ratner. Fuck him up his stupid ass. Two, the movie is not as good as Manhunter is because it divides its focus. Three, color filters are boring. And four, did I mention to fuck Brett Ratner, fuck him up his stupid ass? Because, if you got nothing to do and you see him on the street, go fuck him up his stupid ass. Yeah, I will never forgive you for X3. Ever. In Manhunter, based on author Thomas Harris's Red Dragon, Will Graham is played by William Peterson and is tasked with catching the Tooth Fairy, among other strategies to catch this horrible serial killer. Will talks to Hannibal Lecter. In this movie, actually played by great actor Brian Cox. You've seen him in just about everything, but he is actually the original Hannibal Lecter. He played him before Anthony Hopkins. And what's neat is that while, of course, it's a completely different performance, you still see the brutal cunning and malevolence in Brian Cox's Hannibal Lecter, as you would see in pretty much all the other versions. And what's great about this one as compared to Red Dragon is, one, William Peterson really sells the fact that Will Graham has absolutely no desire to do anything in the movie. At this point in his career, Will had been an FBI agent, but he, went through some terrible shit at the hands of you-know-who, and was retired. Jack Crawford brought him out of retirement for one more job, or hopefully to get him to do more jobs. But Edward Norton's Will Graham really felt like he didn't know what he was doing in terms of his own personal struggle. Is he happy? Is he annoyed? What does he actually feel as he's going through this? William Peterson is a lot more clear. Other big plus is nobody, as great as Ralph Fiennes is, nobody is just inherently scary as Tom Noonan is, even without the tattoos. See, here's no tattoos, here's with tattoos. Scarier, but still scary, no matter what. And three, this was the third time that Anthony Hopkins had played Hannibal, and you could tell that he was sort of phoning it in at this point. And, I can't blame him. He was kind of just going in for the paycheck, but at the same time, it makes it less interesting for me, and it was almost a caricature of the original character that, or not the original character, but the character Hopkins breathed life into in The Silence of the Lambs. Now, I really can't say enough about The Silence of the Lambs. Odds are you've seen it by this point. It's great. It is one of the few films that me, my brother, and my father can actually just recite from start to finish. We'll just go into it. One of us will say one line, and the other two will say the other. Anthony Hopkins is in the film for maybe 20 minutes as Hannibal Lecter, and he got an Academy Award for it. Jodie Foster as Clary Starling got an Academy Award. Jonathan Demme and the entire production got an Academy Award for this movie, which is, I think the only time really that a horror movie won an Academy Award. Don't get your, panties in a bunch. I know it's a suspense thriller, but really it's a horror movie. This is pretty much Psycho with a bit more intelligence. A lot of times I just, for shits and giggles, will just do Arnold Schwarzenegger as Hannibal Lecter for no apparent reason. But, amputate a man's limb and he can still feel it tickling. Tell me, Mom, when your little girls aren't on the slab, where will it tickle you? Other fun facts. Hannibal never actually says, "Hello, Clarice," in this film. It's sort of like Luke, I am your father. It never got said in Empire Strikes Back. He says, "Good evening, Clarice." He eventually says, "Hello, Clarice," in Hannibal, which we'll talk about in a second. And other great bit is that, by and large, Anthony Hopkins based the voice Hannibal on the great Katharine Hepburn, not unlike the way that Johnny Depp based Ichabod Crane's voice and mannerisms on Angela Lansbury, and Ben Kingsley based Dom Logan on his own grandmother. And if you've seen Sexy Beast, it's kind of horrifying. But just top notch. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't particularly like Jonathan Demme's directing in general because he relies too much on this shot. But this is the first time he really did it to death, and it sort of works. At the very least, it works because it's the first time he did it. It works because it's really just creepy after a while to be staring into Hannibal Lecter's eyes. Yeah. Anyway, finally we come to Hannibal, the long-awaited sequel to The Silence of the Lambs. Most of you, if you are part of the American movie-going public, do not like this film. I love it. I saw this on Valentine's Day when it came out, and it has thus stayed my go-to romantic Valentine's Day movie, because what's fascinating is that while you have all of these horrible psychopaths running around, there's a real Beauty and the Beast angle to the film. And I think it sort of works, mainly because Clarice doesn't go for it. Hannibal has found somebody that fascinates him because she is everything he is not. And as a result of her being everything that he is not, she will never, ever go for him, despite what the novel would say. Julianne Moore took up the role of Clarice Starling after Jodie Foster decided not to, mainly because at the time that they were offering it to her, the script had the book's original ending, which I won't spoil for you, but it is radically different and not exactly in keeping with Clarice Starling's character. So Jodie didn't like it, and then by the time that they fixed it, Jodie wasn't available, so they got Julianne Moore, who I think did a great job. Keep in mind, this is not the same Clarice Starling. She has been 10 years in the field. She's tougher. She's going to be more self-confident. And I really think she pulled it off. Hopkins is really just relishing the Hannibal Lecter character. He hadn't played him for, I want to say, about 11 to 12 years. So this was just a good time. Ridley Scott is directing. Virginia and Italy just look gorgeous throughout the entire film. And then you have these two really great character parts with Gary Oldman as the horribly mutilated Mason Verger, and Ray Liotta as the edible Paul Krendler. It's just so gross, but oddly fun for me, mainly because I'm a gross person. But so this week, quickie, I love Hannibal, and I really love the new show. I think Mads Mikkelsen is incredible. Hugh Dancy's Will Graham is astonishing, and I could watch Lawrence Fishburne be a frustrated authority figure all day, forever. So go watch the new show. It's probably still on demand. Pick up the DVDs when they come out, and in the meantime, watch the classic Hannibal Lecter with Brian Cox in Manhunter, and then Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs, and Hannibal. Don't watch Hannibal Rising. Don't watch Red Dragon. They are not good. I'll see you next week. Leave goodbye, Hannibal. Oh, you can't. Sorry.